Hi guys, I hope you guys are well. I just want to say I have some words for you guys today, but I just want to say children of God, we are so we are so nice, okay? I don't want to go into full details about what I'm going through, but I'm pretty sure that one of you guys or a couple of you guys can relate to this, okay? It's it's very hard for us to see someone go through God's wrath. It's very hard for us to see people go through the consequences of their actions. Even if we are hurt in the midst of it, it's very hard for us to see that, okay? And here's the thing, if you are upright in the heart and you are a good person, you are a kind person, despite how you were treated or what was done to you, it's like you don't want to see anybody suffer. And relating to the video I posted a few days ago where I said that, if God is showing you what's going to happen to someone, or God is showing you the wrath of certain people, or God is showing you the consequences of certain people, things that they've been doing to you, do not laugh, do not rejoice, because you can rejoice at the fact that there's vindication, but don't rejoice at their downfall, because you don't want to be like them. Because remember something, they were trying to rejoice at your downfall. Even when they were plotting for your downfall, they were rejoicing before anything happened to you. They were rejoicing. They were rejoicing in seeing you cry. They were rejoicing in seeing you in pain. But that does not mean that you rejoice when they're in pain or when they're crying or when they're going through it, because two wrongs don't make a right. And again, that's what makes you special to God, and that's what makes you very unique, the fact that you don't rejoice in other people's pain. Those of you guys who are upright in the heart and who understand this, and you don't even have an evil bone in your body to do something like that, God may have shown you guys the wrath of certain people. There is going to be a wrath for some of you guys that already happened. For some of you guys, it's going to happen. And God will show you, whether it's He's showing you in a dream, whether He's showing you in a vision, whether He's telling you that you have to take action and do something that may cause someone to get in trouble, there may be consequences. Whatever the situation is, God is going to tell you to be obedient when He gives you instructions on the wrath of people. He will tell you to be obedient, and He will tell you what you need to do. Because some of you guys, it may be He is showing you someone's going to get sick after they've been trying to get you sick. It could be someone may pass after they've been trying to kill you. It could be someone goes to jail after they've been trying to do things to you, right? It could be whatever the wrath is. When you have a good heart, you don't want to see anybody suffer. And we, children of God, I notice we will literally cry. We'll literally beg God and pray for our enemies, because that's what God tells us to do, right? But we can't pray against His wrath. We can pray for them because the Bible says pray for your enemies, but we cannot pray against God's wrath, And when you're dealing with narcissists, or when you're dealing with people who are consistently trying to kill you or hurt you or target you or attack you, whatever it is, it's like you always have this compassion in wanting to help them. And this is the reason why they targeted you in the first place, because they know that your heart is like that. They know you have a very hard time, seeing someone else hurt, seeing someone else get in trouble, seeing someone else go through a wrath. They know you have a hard time because of your heart. You have a hard time seeing people hurt. This is why many of you guys are dealing with narcissists. This is why oftentimes you have been, even when they hurt you, you have always been the one trying to make things right. You're always the one trying to, clear the elephant in the room. You're always the one that's trying to find a resolution to whatever problems you guys were having, right? It's like you're the one that's always putting in the work. You're the one that's always like, okay, I'm going to forgive you. You're the one that's always opening back that door. And this is where God had to put specific, strict boundaries when it comes to those people or that person. And when it comes to you, God had to specifically give you instructions and tell you to put up strict boundaries. And the reason being is because some of you guys, it's literally like life and death. As in, if you are around this person, they're going to try to kill you. Whether it be an abusive relationship that you've been going back to, and God is letting you know, hey, if you go back to that abusive relationship, you may not make it out. There's a lot of domestic violence victims out there, right? So, or whether it's, going back to a family member's home and they're going to try to kill you, poison you, whatever, or whether it's going back to a friend who's wicked and evil. God will tell you to stay clear of these people because they're evil hearts, because he can see the plots and the schemes of these people before they even do it. The hardest thing that we have as children of God is we have a hard time saying no. We have a hard time, you know, doing things that we're not used to doing, relating to making someone else feel uncomfortable, or relating to cutting someone off, or because we're always that person, like, are you okay, are you good, like, especially when it's someone that you share blood with, or you've grown up with, or someone that you loved in the past. Like, that's very difficult. But this is where obedience comes in, and obedience is better than sacrifice. Okay. And the other day, God was showing me certain things relating to like my situation and things that he's instructing me to do. And it's not easy, right? It's really not easy. And, I had a revelation yesterday. Let me tell you why. Because I've been struggling with this for weeks now. And literally yesterday, I sat in my car and I started crying. And reason being was because I'm like, man, like, because God was showing me the wrath of certain people, right? And there's specific instructions that he gave me related to like never contacting them again, never talking to them again. And and it's very hurtful to hear that, but I sat in my car and I'm like, God, does it have to be this way? Is there any other way that this can be done? Like, it was like I was having a Jesus moment. No, I'm not getting crucified on the cross, right? You know how Jesus went and spent time with God and he's like, Father, is there any other way that this can be done where I don't have to go to the cross? Like, that's where, remember, Jesus had a human moment and he went to God and he even asked God if there's any other way this can be done. And God didn't answer him, right? So he had to do his Father's will. I was going through something similar like that yesterday. I was like, God, is there any other way I can, this can happen where I don't have to like do what you're telling me to do? Because he's telling me cut ties, never talk to them again. Like, basically they're alive, like they're living, but they're dead to me, basically. So I was going through grief. I was mourning. Mourning someone who's not even dead. Okay, spiritually they're dead, physically they're not. That's what I was mourning. And when I was mourning that yesterday, and I was crying, I'm like, God, maybe I shouldn't do this, maybe and I was going back to that place of, you know I just don't want anybody to be hurt. I just want peace. Like, that's my mentality. And literally, as I was going back to that place and crying to God last night, guess what happened? Last night, he showed me a vision in my dream of the person attacking me again. Even after me crying and me begging God to spare them, me begging God and saying, is there any other way? He literally showed me that they just recently tried attacking me again. So while I'm here feeling bad for them and mourning and, feeling guilty for having to be obedient, they're literally attacking me again. Do you get what I'm saying? So the reason why God showed me that last night was to show me that this is the reason why he is giving me specific instructions and telling me do what I need to do, because they're not going to change. The only way they're going to change is if I'm completely gone out their life for good. That's the only way they're going to change, right? So when he showed me that last night, I woke up this morning feeling like, wow, okay, I understand, God. And I'm going to say this to anyone that's going through this. If God is giving you specific instructions and telling you to do something, whether it be cut someone off, whether it be leave a relationship that's toxic, whether it be leave your family behind, whether it be leave friendships behind, whether it be, moving out the country, whatever your situation is, and it's difficult for you to do that because you so badly want everyone to be happy. You don't want to see anybody go through heartache or pain. You have to be obedient, because while you are sitting here giving people chance after chance after chance after chance after chance, they're sitting behind your back thinking about how they're going to kill you after doing plot after plot after plot after plot. And every time you try to go back or you try to be around them because you want to be the bigger person, you may jeopardize yourself and you're putting yourself in danger. So you have to understand that God knows the hearts of people and he knows who's going to change and who's not going to change. God also knows what's going to lead certain people to change. There's some people that certain things have to happen and certain consequences have to happen in order for them to change. And the more you keep coming back or going back and, always trying to be the bigger person and being disobedient, you are putting your life in danger. So you have to be obedient. and you see, sometimes it's like we'll sit there and we'll see the wrath of God's hand on these people's lives, and we'll be feeling so bad because we don't want to see anybody hurt, but we don't even understand what they were trying to do to us, or we don't understand just how detailed they were going when it came to plotting against us. And God is not going to let anything happen to his children, right? So this is why he gives us very stern and strict instructions, and he tells us we have to be obedient. Even when it feels uncomfortable, we have to be obedient. He gave me a scripture this morning relating to Jeremiah. Yes, we are supposed to pray for people, right? Pray for your enemies, but we cannot pray against his wrath. We can only pray for their soul, pray that they learn, pray that they change. We can pray for like a positive outcome relating to them learning and their soul being saved and all of that. But we cannot pray against his wrath. We cannot pray against God's consequences for them, all of that, because things like this needs to happen. Remember, many of us, we had to go through consequences for us to find God, for us to change our lives and realize, no, I don't want to be that person no more. Like a lot of us had to go through that, right? So it has to be the same type of way when it comes to your enemies as well, okay? Remember in Jeremiah 11, verse 14, it says, do not pray for these people or offer any plea or petition for them, because I will not listen when they call to me in the time of their distress. Okay. And that's what Jeremiah was saying. That's what Jeremiah was saying. That's what Jeremiah was saying, that's what Jeremiah was telling them, that God was saying, like, do not pray for them, do not plead for them, do not petition for them, because when they call on to God, he's not going to hear them in their time of distress, because God has been merciful over and over and over again. It's the same thing with your enemies, that God has been so merciful to them over and over and over and over and over again, yet they keep still doing the same things. So I was using my situation as an example, how I'm sitting here in the car yesterday literally crying like, God, is there in any other way this can be done, and trying to have mercy for the very person and the very people who were still plotting against me the whole time. Even in the midst of me crying for them, they were plotting. And God showed me that last night. Like, while you were sitting in the car, Stephanie, asking me to have mercy on them, asking me to go soft on them, Stephanie, this is what they were doing the whole time. And God showed me last night they went and did the same thing again. And I'm going to read Jeremiah 18. Because the Lord revealed their plot to me, I knew it. For at the time he showed me what they were doing. I had been like a gentle lamb led to the slaughter. I did not realize that they had plotted against me, saying, let us destroy the tree and its fruits. Let us cut him off from the land of living, that his name be remembered no more. But the Lord Almighty, who judged righteously and tests the heart and the mind, let me see your vengeance on them. For to you I have committed my cause. Listen, I'm telling you, while you guys sitting here like trying to, and I'm not saying like to be cold. No, continue being kind-hearted. Continue being humble. That's what God wants us to do, right? But follow his instructions even when it feels uncomfortable. Because trust me, God can see who's going to change, who's not going to change. And God can see what these people were going to do while you were sitting here trying to be merciful. Because like I said, guys, I was sitting trying to be merciful, questioning God and asking God if there's any other way. And the whole time I'm doing that, they were still doing this stuff behind my back. They were still plotting against me. They were still attacking me. You see what I mean? And this is the things that God can see. We can't see all that. But you have to remember something. God is looking at everything via bird's eye view. So while he's looking down and watching what we're doing in that moment, he is watching what they're doing in that moment. You see what I'm saying? And he is going to protect his children for sure. Right? So I'm saying this to say, and I'm using my situation as an example. If God has told you guys to do something that's uncomfortable, and you're like, man, God, I don't want to get this person, in trouble, or man, God, I don't want to see them get sick, or I don't want to see them, or I don't want to cut them off, or pray for their spirit, pray for their soul. but you cannot pray against his wrath. And you cannot go against his wrath, or you will get caught up in the wrath. Okay? So I want to just share this with you. You have to understand that, some of you guys, it's a life and death situation where if you go against God, these people can literally take you out because that's what their plan is. And God is protecting you. So all things work out for the glory of God and according to God's will. This is why obedience is important, okay? I love you guys. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.